With Loki Season 2 off to a strong start, we are already seeing a tons of theories pop up and a lot of speculation on what exactly is going to be the big reveal at the end and what is Kang's motivation and plot. So let's talk about one of the biggest theories out there that a lot of people have. So this essentially connects to one of the main characters of the first season of Loki, this being Renslayer. Obviously taking elements from the comics but doing different stuff with the character is the name of the game in the MCU, but we can see that she clearly has some sort of relationship that's much deeper than most of us thought with Kang the Conqueror. Now, it's interesting that obviously there's hints towards these two having something happen that we haven't fully explored, which probably adds more elements to their relationship. An ongoing theory, and this is one we discussed in one of the audio commentaries, is the fact that her and Kang, aka He Who Remains, probably had a relationship, and that Kang essentially did what he did with everybody else. He wiped minds, and he wiped out elements of her and her knowing who he was, but kept her just enough that she knew something was up, she would obey what he was doing, but obviously it wasn't the full picture. Essentially, he was in love with her, she was in love with him, and he could not bring himself to fully erase everything. So he put her in control of the TVA into that high position to a level where he felt comfortable with her having enough of her own personality, but not completely wiping her out. And that essentially he more or less like groomed her into this villainous role that she had in the first season and to obey all orders. And she obviously was onto something, but couldn't figure it all out. Now, I kind of speculated in, again, one of the audio commentaries that we did in bonus topics, that when it comes to these two's relationship, I think that there's going to be a lot in terms of how Kang perceives her, and possibly that she is like the love of his life across the multiverse. And this is the one that accepted Kang's actions. But he realized he still got to keep order, and if she could truly learn what he did, this would honestly have ramifications. Hence why he kept wiping her mind as well, and hence why she kept kind of coming back, right? Like there's almost like this unbreakable bond between them. Almost like it has to happen in this universe, in the sacred timeline, because again, the one sacred timeline that he kept in order was sort of like predestined, right? So if all this comes together, you can kind of see how Kang's big motivation is actually love. And that would certainly have huge implications on what comes next, especially when most people will do anything for love. It can drive people crazy. I mean, look at what he's done. It would honestly make a whole lot of sense and make him a little bit more sympathetic instead of just a crazy guy trying to keep everything in one timeline.